to the channel Secretos de Sabrosura. My name is Jose Vrolijk, and today I will explain you about the Maya calendar with the Torah comparison. You might be finding it very astonishing. However, what I'm going to explain to you is very interesting. As everybody knows, it was proclaimed or said that the Mayan calendar would be ending in 2012 in December 21st, 22nd, and there will be great disasters while it occurred. However, nothing happened, and that was the astonishing thing, that many people prepared for that disaster, for that day, and nothing happened. I will explain to you why nothing happened, and I'll also explain to you that the calendar of the Mayan is still counting, and today, 2018, we have 294 years left to go. And I will compare it to the verse of the tanakh in the order of the books this is presented by the Chabad organization. If you go to the chart, we have that the Mayan calendar, solar calendar, or solar cycle, has a total of 25,625 years. The Jewish lunar calendar, converted, is 25,980 years. Now, this conversion I made is very simple. The Mayas, they count 260 days, and they had 5 good years of 5 days which they noted, but they did not count them. So what I did is, I took the Mayan solar cycle, which is 25,625, times those 5 days, divided by 360. It gave me a result of 355.9. Now, this 355.9 I added to the Mayan solar cycle, and I got a Jewish lunar cycle. That's how I came to it. The Maya have divided this cycle of this solar cycle, this period, in 5 equal periods of 5,125. And if we apply the same arithmetics here, it's in lunar cycle would be 5,196. In the year 2012, which is for the Jewish counting, would be the year 5,772. However, in the year 2012, everybody said that in December the Mayan calendar will stop counting, and they forecasted a lot of disaster. However, what many people didn't take into account was that in the early 90s, of last century, 2 Germans have discovered there is a 300-year period of ghost time, which was made between the 7th century to the 10th century. What happened in those days was that the Emperor Otto II and the Pope of the Vatican, Sylvester II, they invented a period of time so they can live the period of the 10th century, 1,000 years after Jesus. And they have created many history, genealogies that doesn't exist today, so they could place their own families and bloodline as kings, queens, emperors, princes, barons, whatever the monarchy uses. So in fact, in 2012, we were in the year 1712, because of that 300-year ghost time that the Emperor Otto and the Vatican Church, Catholic Church, invented in those days. Now, how did these 2 Germans find out of this ghost time? It was very simple. These were historians, and they found out there were some cathedrals they were starting to build, stopped a determined time of the year, and then we were continuing to building it 300 years afterwards, and they finished it in 4 months. They also discovered that persons who wrote books, the books were published 300 years later, and the writer of that book made a comment 300 years later on that particular book. So it doesn't add up. They analyzed that Spain has 800 years fake history. Germany has like 300 years fake history. And England, Great Britain, as they call it, has like 800 years also of fake history, invented stories. And they have concluded that even Carlo Magno didn't exist. Many battles and wars didn't exist. It was just invented to adjust to the time and to lift up their own ego of living 1,000 years after Jesus Christ. So in fact, if we count 300 years after 2012, the real end of the Maya calendar would be our count of today, 2312, which is equal to the verse of the Tanakh, 6076. Now, every verse in the Torah, the Tanakh, is 1 year. And so I decided, so if it's still 300 years left to go, what happened already, the counting the Maya calendar, I went back and brought me to Genesis chapter 31, verse 6, as the last day of the evening of the counting of the Mayans, and Genesis 31, chapter 31, verse 7, to the first day of the night. If we go to Genesis chapter 31, 6, and chapter 31, verse 7, what we find here is the story of Yaakov, which tells his wife, well, I've served your father very well, he cheated me, and it was, I had to leave him, explaining all the situation to their wives. And this story of Yaakov is very similar to the Maya story of the Popol Vuh. The god Bethel comes to Yaakov, and in the Popol Vuh they talk about the god Botol, who do transformations. And with Yaakov it was the god Bethel. So this was 5,125 less 300 years was still to go. I went back 4,800 years, and this brought me to the first day of the first night period of the Maya, which is Genesis chapter 31, verse 7. If we take in 2012, which is the Jewish year of 5,772, it will bring us to the verse a day before the supposedly finish of the Maya calendar, to Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 14, which says, the cream of cattle and the milk of sheep, with the fat of lambs and rams of Bashan, and he goats with kidneys of wheat, and it would drink the blood of grapes as the finest wines. And Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 15 says, and Yisroel became fat and rebelled, you grow fat, thick and rotund, forsook the God who made them, and spurned the mighty rock of their salvation. Now, what happened this period, most people believed that the Maya will come to an end, and all disasters that they have said will come with it. They prepare themselves spiritually, putting spiritual creatures in their body. Before the spirit, many people went to shamans or to magic men, and they wanted to live the spirit, the ending. However, they forgot their own God. They prepared themselves, and what happens here in chapter 32 of Deuteronomy, verse 15, is that actually they will killing themselves with what they have placed inside their body to survive this catastrophic period of the Maya. At the end of the ninth period, if we come from Genesis chapter 31 verse 7, which is the Jewish year of 800 AD, we count 5,196 verses or years, which is the lunar cycle. We'll come to the year 6076, which refers to the book of Joshua. On the last day of last year of the ninth period of the Maya calendar, we have on Joshua chapter 10 verse 12. Then Joshua spoke to the Lord on the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, sun, stand still upon Gibeon, and moon in the valley of Ajalon. And in Joshua chapter 10 verse 13, which would be the first day in the morning period of the Maya calendar, we have, and the sun stood still and the moon stayed still, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemy. Is it not written in the book of Yashar? So the sun stood still in the midst of the heaven, and it did not hasten to go down exactly a whole day. So, on this period here, on that year, on the first verse of the morning, if the sun stands still, means the earth is not rotating. If the moon stands still, it's not a big problem because it rotates around the earth. However, if the earth stands still, or the sun stands still, it means we, planet, stand still. So imagine yourself all the movement of these water masses, the mountains, buildings, skyscrapers. The inertia will move them further. So that is the catastrophe. They were thinking will be happening in December 2012, but it did not happen because the Vatican Church, the Catholic Church, they made a ghost time of 300 years. So we have to add up those 300 years, which will bring us to the exact date of the end of the ninth period of the Maya calendar. And if you continue to read the other verses of Joshua, he really finished off all the enemies of Israel. Now, we have here the morning period, which is a period that goes from, if we also count 5,196, from 6,000 to 76 of the Jewish cycle. It brings us to the year, or to the verse of Isaiah chapter 56 verse 5, which is the Jewish year 11,272. And in Isaiah is the last period. Isaiah chapter 56 verse 5 is the last day of the morning period and going into the midday. It's the moment where we are the closest to the Milky Way, to the center of the Milky Way, which is the midday. It's this period here. And the last day of the morning period of the Maya system, we have in Isaiah chapter 56 verse 5, I will give them in my house and in my walls a place and a name better than sons and daughters. An everlasting name I will give him, which will be not discontinued. And in the first day of the midday of the Maya system, which will be the closest moment we are to the center of our galaxy, of the Milky Way, we have the chapter of verse 6 of chapter 56 of Isaiah, which says, "And the foreigners who joined with the Lord to serve him, and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone who observes the Sabbath from profaning it, and who holds fast to my covenant." Actually, what we have here in the first day of the midday period is a blessing. Now, the Maharal has explained the only way that can be a blessing is two opposites unite together. So, this is worthwhile of studying this particular moment. Then, if we count another period of 5,196 years, we go to the evening of the Maya period. It brings us to the year 16,468 of the Jewish calendar. And the last day of the evening is Psalm 135 verse 10, which says, "He struck down great nations and slew mighty kings." And the first day of the evening gives us Psalms 125 verse 11, "Sihon the king of the Amorites and Og the king of Bashan and all the kingdoms of Canaan." This is very interesting. It is a disaster. It says, "He struck down great nations and slew mighty kings." Could well refer to a gigantic earthquake. However, that's further also very interesting to investigate how it is written in the original Hebrew, and from there on apply the Gematria. We can find out what's going to happen exactly, because in chapter 135 verse 10 of the book of Psalms, it says, "He struck down great nations and slew mighty kings." Then, if we go into the evening, end of the evening period, it's to add another 5,196 years of the Jewish calendar to the previous one, we come to the Jewish year of 21,664. And the end of that period, of the evening period, brings us to 2nd of Chronicles, chapter 18, verse 34. And it says, "And the battle withdrew on that day, and the king of Israel was standing in the chariot against the Arameans until evening. And he died at the time of the setting sun." And Chronicles 2nd, chapter 19, verse 1, we have, that is the first period of the night period again, and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, returned home in peace to Jerusalem. This is also worthwhile to investigate, and we'll see. And this, the first night period we're going to have here from the Maya, yeah, it sounds like, as we read in chapter 19, verse 1 of 2nd Chronicles, "And Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, returned home in peace to Jerusalem." It alludes, or it's my personal opinion, that this period there will be no war for the Jews. Absolutely. However, in the last verse of the Tanakh, which is 2nd Chronicles chapter 36 verse 23, we have, "So said Cyrus the king of Persia, all the kingdoms of the earth has the Lord of the heavens delivered to me, and he commanded me to build him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judea. Who among you is of all his people, may the Lord his God be with him, and he may find peace, and he may go up. This is very interesting. And it sounds like Cyrus gets the order, and it's not a Jew or any descendant of the 10 tribes of 11 tribes, but it's also worthwhile investigating. So if we add up for the night period, going from 21,664 towards the future for one period of 5,196, it brings us to 26,806, back to the same place. Now, in this part here, to the end, we miss a book. It could be we get a new Torah, or we get new commandments, or it is the book of Yasha. Our solar system moves in a cycle, but it never gets back to the same point where it started, but it cuts it 1 degree before. So we continues going in a period towards the center of our galaxy, and this period of 1 degree, which is a total of 880 years, Jewish years, could well be that the creation will start its job again. That Hashem will redo his work again. I've presented you this so to give you an idea how it fits into the Torah, the Maya calendar. As I said, the Torah, the tanakh, one day is one verse. The tanakh of the Torah is not a book of history, it's not a book of persons, it's a book about knowledge, it's a book about the future, and it will only be opened to the chosen one. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have liked this video, this small explanation, and give it a like, subscribe to my channel, because there will be more coming up. Thank you very much. God bless you.